a 28 center console going later this week, and I think a 230. Is it 233 going? We should be good, bud.
233. Cool. Here we are.
We're live.
I'm gonna call it week 22 of Boating Tips Live. I think I'm right.
Sounds about right.
And we are going to be talking about today, ask us anything about ... MarineMax Planned Maintenance, which is a all-new program offered by the business office. We have a very, very, very special guest today. We've got Tyler Layton, VP of Finance. So thanks for joining us, Tyler.
Thank you, guys. It's awesome to be here. And I've been quite a follower of your show and big fans. And, Keith and I date back to when I started at MarineMax. We were teammates in Clearwater. So great to be on here. And thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. Glad you're here.
Yep.
So hey, before we get started into the planned maintenance and stuff like that, what kind of is your background in this, or how'd you get here, and now vice president of finance?
Yeah, that's a great question. Certainly a unique opportunity that I'm very blessed to have. But I'll tell you, I started my career at MarineMax about 4.5 years ago. Started in the Clearwater store, and I served as a business manager. And about a year and a half after, got the opportunity to lead our Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina team for about 2 years, and then went to Southeast Florida to the MarineMax Yacht Center and led the team there, and kind of completed the full circle back to the West Coast. And here I am leading our F&I team. So very blessed, and it's been a fantastic career, and really because of the people like you all that I get to work with every day. So
yeah, you did the great loop.
Yeah.
Back to the West Coast, best coast.
That's right.
Absolutely. Hey, Gail. She's on here with us this afternoon.
Got Brian that just joined us. Looking forward to some more good questions today, Brian. Brian's always got some good stuff to add. So I guess before we jump in right here, just with the planned maintenance, this is something new. This is something exciting. I think that it's most exciting in a way, for, your first time boat owner and stuff like that. You were just eliminating all the variables here. I mean, when you go to a boat show, or you'll start your boat search. It's intimidating. I mean, we get that. That's no secret. And I think that this right here, this planned maintenance program, is the single biggest eliminator of all of that uncertainty. So Tyler, just, I guess let's jump in head first. What are we working with here?
Yeah, well, thank you again, because planned maintenance is really exciting for MarineMax. So I'm going to talk today specifically about planned maintenance for Mercury outboard engines. And planned maintenance is really an optional protection product that allows our customers to pre-purchase 3 services that are required by the OEM. So we know that regular maintenance is just a part of boat ownership. And so we really wanted to provide a way for our customers to secure service for tomorrow at today's prices. So it's really exciting. And to your point, Nick, it takes some of the mystery out, because we've taken what the OEM requires, recommends, certainly, and we've given you the opportunity up front to purchase that. And so now you go into your first 3 years of boat ownership with an understanding and kind of a fixed cost there. So again, we're really excited to offer it. And once we perfect this and get it right, there'll be some more offerings around maintenance just with other propulsion. You think of Yamaha, you think about Mercruiser, so lots more to come there.
I like it. I mean, this is a question that we get a lot, from the sales end of things. Also, is what are my costs besides buying the boat? What's it going to cost me every single year and stuff like that? And I think just keeping everything steady, like you brought up, Tyler, just that fixed cost that you know is always going to be there, and to be able to plan ahead of that and lock that in is, I mean, it's exciting. And it's just, as far as ease of ownership goes, I think this is it right here.
Yeah, and not that, right? We're getting into the technical aspects of it, but when we think about boating and being out on the water and servicing, we want to deliver the world's best pleasure boating experience. And so if there's one more thing that we can do to not just take the mystery out and save money and make it hassle-free, but to really tie you back into your MarineMax location and get you confident in not just the brand, but, our company, MarineMax Planned Maintenance will absolutely do that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's rolling out now throughout across the country, but we were kind of like a test store here. We've been doing it about a month or so here, and I know several people, a lot of customers that have purchased it and are happy with it. I mean, it's just ease, peace of mind, right? So when I'm doing the deliveries and doing the orientations, we sit down and we go, okay, 100 hours annually, whichever comes first, this and that. And they're like, Captain Keith, I'm good. I'm golden here. I've already got it. And so it's like, I don't have to anything to budget for or look down for the future for.
Yeah, Keith, thanks for sharing that and being an advocate for it, because what has made this very successful from the beginning is just the engagement from many of our team members geographically around the company. So we are excited to launch this for all stores on October 1st, right? So it's already kicked off, but we actually started with a pilot a few months back, and Clearwater was a part of that. And it gave us the opportunity to get some great insight from our service managers, business managers, captains, of course. And yes, we've had customers take advantage of the program already. There are tremendous benefits. And, I will tell you, first and foremost, one of the neatest benefit is that it provides a savings to the customer. So just on average, you're going to save about 10% of what you pay on the service drive. And I would say most importantly around that is, you're price protecting it. So when you think about future service and you think about labor rates and shop supplies and materials, you're buying the service at today's rates, and essentially you're freezing inflation, right?
Yep. Prices definitely aren't going to go down.
Yep. And not just price, but, another goal and ultimately a benefit is providing that hassle-free ownership experience. So, if you purchase it at the time that you're closing on the boat, you can certainly write a check for it. You can include it in your financing, so it's wrapped in your monthly payment. And then we've also enhanced the program to not only just satisfy the OEM requirements around the engine service, but we've added a winterization optional package for our customers in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic and the Carolinas. And then we've also added a mobile service component if you want, your MarineMax service department, to service your boat on the road. So, it's very worry-free. It's designed to take the mystery and the hassle out of it. You can easily redeem the service at any MarineMax location, and you're going to get a notification from your team that the service is due. So that's another huge benefit, aside and over and above the cost savings that you have.
So somebody that's got a boat up in New York and it's down here, they come down here for the winter, they're a snowbird, or they go to Marco or something. Then it's time for their 100-hour service. They could go to the Naples store and have the maintenance done then, even though they got the plan up in New York.
Absolutely. And any MarineMax location, because we see that. And
right.
Not only that, you've got 3 services that you can use at any time in your ownership of those 3 years. So if you're going to put all the hours on the boat in the first 3 years, then you can use those 3. You can redeem the services then. Or if you want to space it out over the 3, 100 hours a year. And we've actually added a grace period to take it out to 39 months. And through all that, if you sell the boat and you want to transfer it, you can do that. Or if you want to cancel the service, you can do that. So really, it's designed to use. It's easy, no strings attached. Really meant to enhance the ownership experience for our customers.
You just brought up a good point there, Tyler. And I actually had a question coming over text here from Steve from St. Pete asking if this is transferable. So would it be transferable in the same way that an extended warranty would be?
Absolutely. So one subsequent owner, it's transferable to. So absolutely. And I will tell you that, transferability is a nice feature. You mentioned on an extended service contract that we offer, you can do that. And then the sealant program that we have for interior and exterior of the boats as well. So, it's very consistent with the other programs. And that really falls into giving you the peace of mind that you want when you're boating. So, to go back to the actual services, not only are they performed by factory trained and certified technicians, but the services mirror the OEM requirements, like I said. And that's really going to help the boat maintain its integrity and the market value. And And not only that, but think about when the boat's in there regularly, our team performing the multi-point inspection of the boat, maybe catching warranty items, that we can take advantage of and correct while it's there. So really adding to that peace of mind that you have, and just making it totally easy to use.
And I think that it also helps you from, I mean, we see it all the time from a sales standpoint. It's, it's just one more thing to add. You're adding so much value to your boat. Well, this boat right here was on MarineMax Planned Maintenance Program. So that just saying that right off the bat right there, it's saying that it was worked on by factory technicians. That it was, on top of things, that no maintenances were skipped because there was that thought beforehand. And you're adding a lot of value to the front end of your boat too, for when you do decide to turn around and sell it, whether it's 3 years down the road or what.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about the boat, in the used market in a few years when you're going to upgrade, because what we find is, between years 2 typically and 3, customers may want to upgrade. We certainly have customers that are keeping their boat longer, but a frequently asked question is, whether the boat's being traded in to a MarineMax location or you're brokering it, is where did you maintain it? How did you maintain it? And we want to provide our owners with, an easy way to articulate how they've done their maintenance. And nothing better can do that than a planned maintenance program, like in this case for Mercury engines.
And then this is, how about somebody buys a used boat or a previously owned boat from us? Is this only for new boats?
It is, and that's a great question, Keith, because right now this is just for new boats, but not to say in the future that we couldn't have a program around that, just like we do on our extended service contract. But yes, right now it's for new boats only.
Kind of like a certified pre-owned type thing. We check it out and then, you go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to consider. And one thing I'm really looking forward to is hearing from our customers and what future enhancements they would like to see, knowing that we've started, with the program being for new boats. What would you like to see in the future? And that could be a very popular ad.
So we got a good question here from Brian Drapp. He goes, does this cover labor only or are parts and liquids included?
So great question, Brian, and thank you for joining us. So all of the above. So parts and labor are included. Yep, shop supplies, materials are included.
Nice. How about travel time to the boat and stuff like that for our techs if they've got to go on the road to do service on a boat?
So under the planned maintenance program, that travel time is not included. However, you can purchase the mobile service, which would include that. If the service is going to be performed, by one of our mobile techs, we have, mobile vans all over the country out on the road every single day. If that works for you and your location, absolutely. But the actual travel time is something that would be customer pay, again, unless you purchase the mobile service.
Okay. What else we got here?
So Tyler, if you don't mind me asking, go ahead, Keith.
No, go ahead, Nick.
Where did this come from? Where did we see this work out before? Did it come from, is it kind of modeled after, some things that we'd see in the auto industry? I mean, we try to, if you want to run some parallels or something to other industries, but we see this happen all the time with cars. Is it typically the same thing, like that type of planned maintenance schedule?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. I'm glad you asked it because I've got a couple things around that. I think first and foremost, when we select finance and insurance products for our customers, we want to make sure that they, without a doubt, help just enhance the experience, protect the boat, and make the ownership very easy. So when you think about our mission in providing the world's best pleasure boating experience, we wanted to have another product offering that did just that. And in every single boat, whether it's Mercury, Yamaha, Volvo, Caterpillar, you name it, service is paramount in how you take care of the boat. Without a doubt, you're going to have a better experience on the water if you take care of your boat properly. And if we could find a way to do that and make servicing easier and just hassle and worry free, then we absolutely will. And so that's where we looked at, to your point, comparable industries. It's proven that planned maintenance is a very successful program. It will certainly increase the confidence around, again, not just the product, but MarineMax, and have you back to our location. So all those combined helped us formulate the idea that we absolutely have to have it for our customers.
Absolutely. I mean, how many horror stories do you hear of people, in the spring, not necessarily with MarineMax, but just with, in general. I mean, it's a springtime, you want your boat out in the water. Those service departments are backed up. They are. And, when you can streamline a process that much more to, just kind of account for something, you're already there. You're already ready to go in the system. It's already paid for, you know, you're gonna be able to spend that much more time out on the water. And like we were talking about, the world's best pleasure boating experience, more time out on the water, less time in the shop. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And so, to dive in that a little bit more specifically, if you've purchased the product, we have it on record, and now we can proactively reach out to you to schedule that service. Especially in peak times, it's important that we turn your boat around quickly to get you out in the water. And so I think we've got an advantage here and an opportunity, again, to be proactive and balance out the schedule a little bit to minimize the days that you're not on the water.
That's it, being proactive with it. I know you used a lot of the service managers and team members across the country to kind of put this together. I know Mike Nolan downstairs was a big part of this too. So, service had a huge hand in this.
They did. And I think that was paramount from day one, because our team members on the ground are interacting with our customers day in and day out, know exactly what it's going to take, to deliver that experience. And so, yes, service managers like Mike Nolan in Clearwater, like Nick up north, Dan in Fort Myers, so many of them were a part of making sure that this was a deliverable that made complete sense and just offered tremendous value to any customer that would be offered it.
Hey, I got one for you here, Tyler. What is the rationale behind choosing 3 service intervals? Obviously with some of the other extended maintenance programs, it'll stretch out further, but why 3? Why is it the 3 consecutive service intervals from a new boat?
That's a great question. So we wanted to start with 3 because with Mercury specifically, that's the initial factory warranty period, and we wanted to make sure that those ran parallel. And the other thing is, we found that customers typically or in many cases, right, are trading their boats in around that 3-year mark, right? Maybe some less and certainly some more. And we want to make sure that we have something that you can confidently purchase, knowing that you're going to likely to take advantage of all of those services. Whereas, the longer you go, maybe you're paying for service you don't need. I will say a future enhancement idea could be, a longer term there. I think as we get this to market and we get more customer feedback and assess, how long people or customers are keeping their boats, will help drive whether or not we add that. We wanted to start with something very simple, very palatable, and I think 3 years, should help us get there.
Great. And what size engines does this go through?
So starts at 40 horsepower all the way to 400 horsepower.
Nice.
You mentioned something earlier that I wrote down and I forgot to bring back up, but I thought it was really interesting. So if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, did you say that you can actually tie this into financing?
Absolutely, you can. We've got a number of lenders that will allow you to do that. First and foremost, you can certainly pay for it outright, but if you would like to include it in your monthly payment, absolutely you can. Just like our extended service contract, just like our vantage sealant, you can put that in your monthly payment and you know what that cost is going to be to help maintain the boat.
I think that's awesome, and I think I've heard it before, from business managers and finance managers and stuff like that. Is this is a way to guarantee that every single month, especially with the financing, this is a way to guarantee, okay, this is what it's going to cost me to own this boat every single month, and it's not like you're going to have a surprise here or a surprise there, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, you get everything included, and it's, yeah, this is what it's going to cost every month. It's nothing's going to jump out at you and scare you.
Yeah, we've taken the guesswork out, the mystery out, in that finance payment now, aside from the boat itself, to your point, you know exactly what service is going to cost. I will say that, depending on what market you're in, there's going to be other things that you want to do to take care of the boat. Of course, you're going to want to maintain it and clean it well, but specifically in the Northeast, we've got a winterization program around the engines, but you're certainly going to want to shrink wrap the boat, perhaps store it, spring commissioning, some other things to think about. But while this isn't completely all inclusive, it does, it really minimizes the other things you'd have to pay for. And those things are just dependent on what market you boat in, maybe how you use your boat as well.
And this is your first 3 service intervals. So Keith, what are those? For instance, let's use a Mercury 250 horsepower Verado for example. Your first 3 service intervals are going to be what? They're going to be 100 hours each or 12 months, right?
Correct. Yep.
So you've got
100 hours or annually.
Yeah. You have those guys that, they use their boats a lot. I've seen it around here where, they might be putting 100 hours on their boat in the first 3 months. If you're one of those guys or girls that's really using your boat, it's any 3 service intervals. It's not broken down annually, or it's not like you need to wait for it or whatever. It's no matter what.
That's right. It's the first 3. So you're 100, 200, and 300 hour. And yeah, you're right. If you do put 300 hours on the boat in the first year, then you're going to redeem services. And then we're going to have to figure out how we can give you the opportunity to prepay more in that 3 years, because that's just year 1 in this scenario. So this list of enhancement is just growing, right?
So you can finance it. It's going to save the client money. They're going to maintain their boat. It's guaranteeing that's locking in there. So, you're not going to depreciate the value of your boat anymore or make it worse by not following through on your maintenances. It's a win-win. It wins for us because our techs are going to get in there. They can maybe find something that's a warranty item and this and that to help protect you in the long run. But at the end of the day, on the client side, it's going to save them money.
I think win-win sums it up best. And I think many of us are very familiar with comparable programs, perhaps for, your car, maybe even motorcycle or RV. So, we've got some familiarity around that, and, a lot of confidence I think people will have once they explore our program, see the savings, and, ultimately experience the peace of mind that it offers.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited for it. I think that this is the next big hit. I think that it's I remember, just talking about, eliminating all the risk and stuff. This is ready to rock. We're not buying boats off of the internet anymore on the private market. This is just about as taken care of as you can get, especially by a company like MarineMax that's going to stand behind this product. And I think it's the next big thing. So, and it just makes everybody else's, it's a win-win for the customer. It's a win-win for us, just ease of ownership. Especially, whether it's for a captain or a sales guy, after the sale. We like to say that our job really doesn't start until you're out on the water burning fuel. And this is that exactly. Just, give us a call. It's such an easier conversation to have, saying like, hey, I'm due for my annual service. What in the world does that even mean? Well, it's 1, it's already paid for. 2, we already know where we're working with. 3, you utilize that MarineMax app, and you can even tie it in with that too, and you're ready to rock and roll and stay out on the water. So it's worth the hype, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, Nick, I'm really excited. Our entire team has put forth a lot of effort in this. And, with that, you brought up a point about, just talking about the maintenance earlier. And that's exactly what this will do. This will drive discussion earlier in the process so we can be even more informative around what's it going to take to maintain the boat. You mentioned earlier, first-time boat buyer, especially at a boat show, there are a lot of variables there. And we want to make that very easy for customers to understand what it's going to take. It's very simple. We've crafted a very neat solution to help you do that, but we've got to start talking about it earlier. And I know that this will help do that. And as excited as we are and as much success as we've had so far, I'm really looking forward to feedback that we get from our customers across all locations to make the program even better, because that's what it was specifically designed for, our customers, and to enhance their experience.
Well put.
Yep.
Welcome to the future, baby.
That's right.
Got Tom joining us here on Facebook Live. Hey, Tom, how's it going, man? Looks like we've even got Gabriel here. Hello, young men, watching from free McDonald's Wi-Fi in Guadalajara by any means necessary for BTL, which BTL is Boating Tips Live. And I really hope that catches on, because I think that's kind of cool. But thanks, Gabe. And
that Gabriel
safe
Gonzalez.
travels.
Yeah, man. Loyal follower.
He's got Nathan here. Love everything about this. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate the feedback already.
Nice.
Well, we appreciate you, Tyler. I know you're a busy guy. I know that you're working on a lot of really awesome stuff like this, and for you to take the time out of your day and help us understand this next big thing is humbling, and it's an honor for both of us. So we appreciate you.
No, and thank you both, Captain Nick and Captain Keith, and to all of our viewers and customers and supporters out there, and to our entire team that helped make this possible. We're really excited, and really excited for this and future initiatives to keep you out on the water. Very happy. So I'm excited to keep it going, and thank you again so much for having me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the webcast here.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it, bud. Good seeing you.
See you guys.
See you on the water.
See you, bud.
Keith, so
all right,
we look outside. It's not necessarily 150 degrees anymore. We see some cold fronts coming through. We had a freezing cold front here in Florida last week. It got into the 70s, I think, maybe even high 60s. And that tells me one thing. That tells me that kingfishing is right around the corner, and there's even some kingfish tournaments coming up. Well, it's going to be done a little bit differently, but it's the time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year to fish. We've got kingfish rolling in, and it's time to make it happen. So what are your thoughts on that? One, have you heard of any kingfish showing up? Two, how would you get involved with some of the tournaments in the area?
I haven't heard any reports yet, but on social media, of course, you can find out about whether it's all the different kingfish tournaments, stuff like that. But Old Salts, for example, a great charity nonprofit organization here for fishermen. They've got monthly meetings. It's probably virtual. I don't know what they're doing now with it, but Old Salts is a good way to go and kind of check in on that and see what's tournament wise what's going on. Angler Armory, they get the kingfish tournaments there out of Johns Pass. Stuff like that. Are
you fishing any of the Wild West tournaments this year?
Or the Wild West? Nah, nope, not me. I'm kind of retired, man. Unless it's I know they're there and it's like glass calm and
yeah, I'm fishing the Wild West tournament, and they actually split it up this year into two different categories for inshore and offshore. So I'll be fishing the inshore division. And I'm excited at how it's going to turn out. So, I mean, the fish they should be showing up any day now if they haven't already. But this is kind of going to lead us into our next episode here. We've actually got Danelle from Team Support for the Reeling Freedom operation. So she's going to go into depth for what they do. But we're going to be talking tournament fishing next week. And they're super involved, her and her husband. They do a lot of great for the community. And that's kind of one of those things that's awesome about that whole community is just how they give back too.
Yep. Yes, they do. Hey, Brian. So right now that is just for Mercury outboards, but that's not to say that something won't be coming later, as they get into this and get feedback from you guys. So, and Stephanie Herrera says, "Take me fishing, Captain." So, I just happen to have one of the planned maintenance brochures right there, and look right there. There's a Stephanie Herrera.
No way.
Yep. She's modeling on here. So there she is.
Hey, Hey Keith, I've seen you modeling on very similar brochures. What's that one? Oh, the Women on Waters brochure.
I don't know, man. I've been doing this 19 years. I got my mug a lot of places, you know.
I like it. I like it. Well, rather short episode today, but man, it's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited for next week's episode
We just
too.
got a bunch of deliveries going, and hopefully the wind will stay down a little bit. We got another tropical system rolling up the Gulf up towards the Panhandle. So prayers and best wishes for everybody up there. You know, they look like it'll be 100 mile an hour or something, but it's still a long way to go. But
Yeah.
you know, just back to back. I swear, it's like once one goes through there, it puts like a little crease or something in the atmosphere. I don't know what it is, but they just kind of piggyback. They'll just follow along, you know, one right after another. Just, you know, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I mean, we've been relatively lucky around here, but I mean, we've seen it happen in the past where you just got to be prepared. One of those things, and just never let your guard down. Take every single one seriously. I think is the biggest thing.
Be prepared, plan ahead, just like the planned maintenance right there, right? So you take care of it and get it done ahead of time.
You know what really bothers me, Keith?
What? Probably not
I
much.
haven't I haven't been able to hop on a boat with a 450R yet. Have
Really?
you? Yeah, have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Of course.
I was so excited. I remember the first time that the whole point of me. I mean, I'm a boat nerd, man. I like to. I remember the first time I hopped on a 250 Outrage when it had the new V6 225s out. I was like, oh, boom, here we go. This is the future. This is a block that we're going to see for 10, 20 years. And it's, been something that we've come to know and love so much. They released that 450R, and we're seeing like a great like horsepower race like you did back in the in the days of muscle cars and stuff. We're seeing the same thing as outboard engines right now. I work for MarineMax, the world's largest boat and yacht retailer, and man, I haven't been able to hop on a boat with a 450R. Do you guys have any at your store?
Right now, I don't think so.
What do you think? What's your take on that engine?
They run great, man. I mean, what's not to like? I mean, I'm not like the gearhead kind of like guy like you are. I just, you know, they're matched together with the boats, and you know, they run outstanding.
Well, if you guys get one, let me know because I like to come
Okay,
down and drive it.
will do.
So, what do you got for deliveries coming up here before the end of the week? Anything cool?
Let's see. I got a 42 Outrage going Wednesday. Let me look at my calendar here real quick.
Just a measly little 42-foot center
Easily 40.
console.
Yep, 42 Outrage. I got a 28 XS Nautic Star.
Oh,
So
Nautic Star, cool.
looking forward to running that. 28 center console, 27 sun deck outboard, 13 sport, 24 dauntless, 250 sun deck. It never ends, man. We're stacking them up.
It's what I had come in this week, and a lot of people forgot about this, but I remember it from the 2020 model year meeting from Sea Ray. I had a 290 STX outboard come in. Get this, with 200s with JPO with joystick piloting, and that's not the JPO that we're used to from Mercury. This is actually an Optimus system Sea Ray's
Okay.
offering now on his engine. So it's cool, man. It's a different joystick. It's got your little Optimus screen there, and a big part of them doing that was 250s it's a lot. I mean, you're talking 500 horsepower on a 290 sun deck, and they're now offering it with the 200s and a joystick on it. So I don't have a ton of experience with that Optimus system. I know a lot of the time it's an afterthought, but I mean, I think that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't run those. I mean, everything I've done is all straight up Mercury JPO stuff. But yeah, I mean, you can go and retrofit this stuff and you know, have it put it on your boat.
So I
Hey,
think that's something
Kathy
new
just
and
joined us.
exciting.
Hello.
Hey Kathy, I'm looking at Kathy right now. I'm in this boat kind of right across from her office, so I can see her desk and I can see her bowl of Snickers bars that she has there on her desk.
The Halloween candy out.
The Halloween candy. Well, Keith, it's been another great episode, and it's a learning experience every week for me, and we'll have to get out on the water here soon. It's not 150 degrees outside.
Yep. The time is here, man. The kingfish will be here. The grouper are moving in, getting a little shallower and all that. The redfish, snook, trout, all that stuff, they'll start coming up in here. So the guys were catching trout out here the other day. Was delivering a boat Saturday. One of the guys on his off day was standing down here on the dock, one right after another.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff, man. Well, I appreciate you once again, able to make these dreams come true. This is a dream come true for me here, just working with one of the industry greats by my side.
Well, we got week number 22 in the books. Next week will be 23. So look forward to seeing you next Monday. We'll be talking fishing, and see you out on the water.
You want to sign us off, Keith? Let everybody know where to find us.
Sure. Let me go look at my notes here. Where are we at here? Facebook's at MarineMax Leisure, Instagram and YouTube at MarineMax Online, and on Twitter at MarineMax.
I'm gonna go drive this Nautic Star ticket out for a spin. I think we got a I don't know if it's a 2102 Legacy or a 2302 Legacy, but I think I'm gonna take it for a spin. Put my seal of approval on it.
So Benji just got a last minute question in here. Recommend a 20-hour service on the Mercury Verado. 20-hour services aren't required anymore, or recommend just a straight up 100 hours or annually, whichever comes first. And I'll just refer back again. It's in your owner's manual. Open that Mercury manual up and read through there.
A big part about that 20-hour service too, when I asked about that when I went up to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to the Mercury plant, I said, hey, why did you guys do away with the 20-hour service schedule? And at least on the Verados, don't quote me on this for every single engine that Mercury's going to make, but they told me, interesting thing about Mercury is they don't spot check these engines. It's not like them just going to choose every one out of 5 of them to say, okay, it works, and I'm just going to assume that every 4 of them, the other 4 out of that 5 are going to work. They actually run every single Mercury engine at the factory to make sure it's okay. So that's a big part of them doing away with that 20-hour service.
Yep.
Thought it was cool.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I appreciate every single one. I appreciate the questions. Appreciate the viewers that tune in every week. We love you. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
See you next Monday, guys.